Okay. Good morning. This is Morning Tea with me. It is September 30th, last Saturday of the month. I am Sensei Mission. We're going to have some tea. So I did a really quick test, and because I've been having issues with messaging. So, and it was kind of funny because I only streamed to what is it? I only streamed just to Facebook, but now for some reason it's working again. Yay. Hi, Rob. Oh, and it's got a different little outlook to it. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Is that, oh, that's just the bubble. Getting a message. So anyway, I am last week. Well, the whole message thing I found was kind of funny because yes, I don't know if maybe that's just the thing I chose. I went to branding and it just says bubble. I actually kind of think that looks cool. I never got a notice that anything had been fixed. I just had sent StreamYard, that's the service that I use, all this, they're like, here, send us links to all the different videos. So I did, and now it works. Yay. So, but I did run a really, really quick test before this because I wanted to know, I wanted to see if it actually worked, and it did. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm moving my old one to trash, and then we will, let's see. Did it work? Yay, there I am. Okay, so went to Indiana last weekend, saw Rob, Davey, Jim, Mark, all of those people. Ben, and I'm going to butcher his last name. I'm not even going to. Ben from Poland. He's a German from Poland. Anyway, so I got beat up. I still have bruises. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? And then these have kind of dissipated, and I've got still kind of hurts, but it was super fun. So really excited about my about that. So learned some body mechanics. And it's funny because so Ben was talking, the way he talks about it is that martial artists, we all say that body mechanics are important, which I do believe, and that we know about body mechanics, or that we're masters of body mechanics, but we don't understand body mechanics. Like to be able to try and he the way he put it is make somebody better. Like how would we make it better? How would we improve our motion? And I never claimed I was a master of body mechanics. I do believe it's important, but like he really took me to school. It was really, really cool. Yes, it was, Rob. It was a great time. So anyway, he taught some principles, and I really took that to heart. And it was, it was awesome. So, and the other thing for him is that he uses pressure points, of course, because he's a Kyusho guy, but he doesn't allow the pressure point to dictate what he wants. He just uses the point how he wants to use it. And I thought that was a very interesting take on on how to use pressure points. So anyway, and he shot a video for me for Q Show Corner. So that'll be when I start airing episodes again, which will be here soon. I'm going to get together with my son to do some video. Then that'll be probably one of the first videos that I put up. So good morning. Here's some tea. I wanted to come on at 7, but good morning, sir. How are you? I wanted to come on at 7, but my daughter and my wife were leaving for a volleyball tournament because Alexa coaches, and they make so much damn noise. So I can't just sit here in the living room and chat because it's just crazy. So anyway, and I was messing with my computer. So I made the mistake. I made the mistake of upgrading to what is it? The new Mac OS, Sonoma, whatever, before remembering that QuickBooks, which is what I use for my business, sometimes doesn't like the new upgrades. And sometimes I double check it and sometimes I don't. And I didn't even think about it. And so I upgraded it. And QuickBooks doesn't say it won't work. It'll like come up and then it'll just sit there and like, hey, of course I'm cheap. And the new version of QuickBooks Mac 2023, which actually was made prior to Sonoma, so I don't even know if it will work in Sonoma. It's like ungodly expensive. Like normally QuickBooks is about, 200. I think I bought the last one for like $270. And I use it for a few years. So, it's about $100 a year. And then I buy a new one. Well, 2023, of course they say, hey, because I'm using 2020 right now. They say, hey, your 2020 version is no longer good. Like, or we're no longer going to support updates, which is fine. Okay. I'm okay with that. But it won't work on Sonoma. So, and then but a newer version is almost like $700 for the desktop version. I don't want to do a subscription service. I might be forced into it. But because even the lowest thing is like for QuickBooks is like $30 a month. And I'm like, and as I grow, of course, that might end up being okay. But I'm like, I don't want to spend $30 a month. It's just, it's just stupid. So plus it's all online. It's a subscription. I want my stuff on my desktop. And regardless if it is Mac or Windows, I want my stuff on my desktop. Like, I don't like putting everything in the cloud. I don't use, I purposely do not use, what do you call it? Adobe, because it went to a subscription service. I just don't. I actually chose to buy I use Affinity software. So Affinity Photo, Designer, Publisher. There's really the only 3 that are out. They're like $50 a pop, maybe 75. And I would actually spend more. But I get to keep those. Like, those are mine. And they upgrade for free. So I don't know. Anyway, I've been trying to look for an alternative to QuickBooks, but everything is an online service. And I don't know. I might be forced to go that route. Let's see. Rob. There was a cool duality between Mark moves for us smaller guys, how Ben moved for larger guys, and how you can take both movement types to combine them for improving your personal style. Yes. Yeah. So I've actually already started integrating those principles into my classes, and I'm actually going to. Good morning, Jim, sir. How are you? And Young posted, excellent studying for. Oh, yes, because you are studying to be a nurse, a licensed nurse, or an LM. I can't remember what it is, but yes, you study for that exam, sir. But anyway, so I've already started, at least with the adults, and I'm trying to figure out LPN, licensed practicing nurse. Is that what it is? Something like that. I don't know I can't remember what the P stands for. Anyway, I've started already integrating those into the adult classes. We've basically, I kind of was like, here is, chuck down into an hour. This is everything I learned over the weekend. And we will kind of step back and get into it here and there as we go. So, yeah, it's been pretty fun. And I just even thinking about the motion and how Ben was talking about leading with the elbow and lifting the shoulders and just keeping them loose and going. A lot of that fits into the kata that we already do. So it's like if we really look at how we move in kata, not just breaking it down into application, but really like, how do we do a down strike? How do we do this? How do we do that? A lot of it is not using the shoulder, at least the way that I do it. So looking at the different kata that we do, I'm actually going to kind of rein in my adult crowd and have them practice their kata a little bit differently, because I teach them the form. The way I do it is I teach them a form, and then I kind of allow them to then have a little bit of liberty with it, slow it down, speed it up. Sometimes make it a little flowy, but I've noticed that I've been a little bit too relaxed in that part. So I'm going to kind of rein it back in, and we're going to start actually really analyzing the mechanics that are basically hidden within kata. So it's not just application, but it's the mechanics there as well, and all based on these principles that Ben taught. I was just a huge eye opener. So, and then let's see. Last night we had a kindergarten meet and greet for Fircrest Elementary at the school. That was really cool. And the principal came. So we had didn't have a big crowd. We had a couple kids show up. One kid showed up and then said, "Oh, well, I already know these kids, so we're just going to leave." And then he broke a piece of the handle on my front door. So yeah, Lisa said I was a little harsh with him. But I was like, I'm not going to be nice when a kid breaks something. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm like, you broke it. And he ran all over his mother. So yeah. Yeah, Jim, good to see everyone at the camp. Yeah, it was. It was a small camp, but it was still like it. Sometimes those nice little intimate camps are good. I am. I can't wait until we go back next year. Looking forward to that. But yeah, it'll be. No, they're like Jim was saying, because Jim's always had one in April and one in September. This September one is actually going to be at Clay's school in Georgia, and then but Jim will still have his September camp. And that Jim and I have also talked about potentially bringing him out here in June. So so I think that will be fun too. So just have to look at times and prices and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's I think that'll and so when we have a date for that, I will let people know. Yeah. Yes, April camp is at Clay's. Let's see, Rob. Absolutely, Jim Corners. Great to see everyone. Excited to see you again in a Get Weeks. That'll be 3 times this year. I get to hang out with you. So, because in a couple weeks is the HKI camp in Jacksonville. So there will be a bunch of people going to that. And then Harvey should be back in the States by now, or he will be soon. So I'm can't wait for that. It'll be good to see him. But yeah, so just a lot of great stuff on the horizon. We're doing another thing for Furcrest in the middle of October. They have this little it'll be kind of like an open house. One of the principal was basically talking about it. He's like, bring your parents to school night. So so the parent, it'll kind of be an open house. We'll be doing popcorn. We'll be serving popcorn there as artisan. And then we will also and then he and I actually started talking about an after school martial arts program for a week. So I would basically show up and work with the kids that way. So I am I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be pretty fun. So there was something else. Right now we have the Legacy Camp, the Modern Artist Legacy Camp happening up in wherever it's called in Connecticut at Brian Zalewski's. Bram is up there. Dane Anderson made it. Dieter, he's there. And here, I'll show you this picture. This is one of the pictures that Bram sent me. That it's a huge group this year. So I don't know who's teaching on the floor, but I do recognize some of those faces in the background. And on the side, let's see. Oh no, I thought that was Dan, but yeah, no, it's actually, this is actually going to be pretty cool. So wish I could have made it there. Oh, there's Danny. There he is in his hat right there. You can see there's Dan and let's see. And then let's see. Sorry, I just got a text. But yeah, so oh, and then our little talk to Bobby, who is doing the book for our alphabet book. Told him that was actually that got really positive review, and so he's actively working on it. So hopefully we will have that as well. So Let's see. We need a website with all the good seminars. Let's see. That's a good idea, Young. Jim says that's a good idea. They have one for Germany. Yeah, there's locally, there's and I don't know who would. Maybe I'll just start it. I don't know. There's there could be a Facebook group or a website. I know that there was a group that I was a part of on Facebook, but they haven't posted anything in a long time for the area, for the local area, for uh, martial arts seminars in the area. So and to basically promote it that way. But see, not everybody is on Facebook. But yeah, I mean that could be fun. Let's see. What is it called? Let's see. I'm looking up a domain name. We do martialseminars.com or martial art seminars.com. Let's see if that's available. And I'm doing this and somebody's going to watch it and buy it and then charge me like $1,000 for it. martialartseminars.com. It is available. So technically we could put that together and basically it would just be it could just be a long list of seminars, and you can just start off as a page. Here's the seminars and the dates and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. If I do it, it's just one more thing I'm doing, but that's good. That's good. So, I am Emmett. Hey, sir, how are you? I know you've missed a couple of these, but I'm no longer doing it on Friday mornings. It's Saturday mornings. I usually I wanted to start it at 7. I have not been. I came on today at about 7:30. I hadn't. What is it? I cannot remember what I was going to say. I haven't been consistent. That's the word. I have not been consistent in getting on here. So, but anyway, I was just talking about the seminar in Indiana. Young suggested that there should be a website for seminars, and apparently they have one in Germany, which is really cool. I don't know if we would do such, like a Facebook group, because not everybody's on Facebook. And like I wanted to, what is it? I wanted to, what is it? So I'm doing a trunk or treat at for the shopping center that my school's at. So we've got a bunch of different businesses that have agreed to be part of it. They want to do it. And so we're, really looking forward to it. But I created a private group so we could all talk about it. Like, it's like, hey, this is what's going on. But most of the people aren't on Facebook. Like, it's like, oh no. And some of them don't even have a Facebook business page. And it's like, seriously? Like, I don't know. Let's see. Emmett says, I quit my day job 2 weeks ago. So hopefully catch more. I did get a significantly better offer for the same job in another company. So all's good. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. Me, I think last week I hadn't really been making it super public, but the school, so the way this, my school is, it's paying for itself, which is yay, but it can't pay my mortgage yet. So I had to get a job. I call it a side hustle because it's not a permanent gig. But I work for Daimler, and check this. So I made the joke to a friend of mine that because I was trying to get him on there, is that when we worked in hospital security, we would unfortunately get to see the undercarriage of some pretty nasty people. And so I had sent him a picture of this, which is, I'm trying to get so it's not the glare there, but that is the basic undercarriage from the front of a big boy truck, a semi. And I was like, wouldn't you rather look at this undercarriage? Because it's a lot more fun. And which is really funny because there's another martial artist that we know who is in, he's actually a diesel mechanic, and he posted a picture yesterday of a truck he got into. And I actually was like, hey, that looks like a Freightliner or a Western Star, because it's both made by Daimler, and they have the same insides. Like this, everything is set up the same. And he's like, yes, it's actually a Freightliner. So it's kind of scary how you make those connections, but anyway, so that's going well. And I've already got a couple new students every month. Actually, I think September for this month, without looking at the numbers, I think I gained 3 students for September. So, and then I have another 3 or 4 leads that are going into October. So I actually had one person reach out asking, they have a grandchild at what is it called, at another school, and I'll actually just read it to you. I won't say the school's name, but I thought that this was kind of interesting. The email, but it says, we have a granddaughter that's presently at blah, blah, blah. We are looking for a program that is more focused and tailored to her mastering the martial arts concepts, which I thought was pretty cool. And then gave telephone number and email address. So I emailed him, told him a little bit about us, suggested signing up for a free lesson, and that, we could talk more. So we will see. And then just being out in the community, doing the stuff with Fur Crest, doing what do you call it? The trunk or treat, just being present. Kids had a great time last night at the meet and greet. The principal was there, and he really enjoyed. So we started talking. Again, he mentioned something that he wanted us to do our back to school or after school martial arts program, which is only a week long. But yeah, it was it's actually pretty cool because he finds the value in the martial arts and finds that there's a lot of kids that just don't understand the concept of respect, discipline, focus. So yeah, it's one of those things that I think would be pretty good. So I'm excited for all that. And then of course I've got classes today. My classes start at 10. One of the things that we're going to be doing, let's see. Are you going to mention promotions? Oh yeah. So I wasn't initially, Jim, I wasn't. But but yeah, since you brought it up, uh, and I have my reasons for not saying it because I don't, I did get promoted, so uh, but uh, but one of the reasons that I wasn't one of the reasons that I wasn't going to do it is because though it is important, it's not uh, um, um, I don't know. I'm just very humble about it. So, but anyway, yes. So at Jim's camp, Jim and Mark promoted me to my seventh. So I am a seventh degree. Um, Harvey called me and was like, "Hey, Mister Grandmaster, sir," all kind of giving me crap about it, but in a good way. But yeah, no, I'm very humbled about it. Yeah, so I'm yeah. Now it is kind of funny because uh uh shouted out. Okay, I'll own it. Now when it comes to that, it's kind of funny because Mark being Mark, he I love the way that Jim's like, well, Mark forgot forgot your certificate, and then Mark's like, well, I wanted to get signatures first, which is all good. So but I got to flip my belt around, so now I get to wear my belt because in our system we have um, when you get to the grandmaster rank, you have black on one side, red on the other. So 4 through 6 is black on the outside, red inside, and then 7, 8, 9 is flipping it. So I get to flip it around. And I saw a picture of me getting beat up by Benny with a red belt around my waist, and it I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. So, um, let's see. Young says, does anyone do scenario training? Where are you verbal, include verbal aspects, basic verbal judo concepts? Um, I when we do scenario, so like in the meet and greet last night, we did we taught people how to interact that way, introduce each other, but then we also worked on how kids could help stand up for other kids being bullied, and then and being the courage that way. I don't know if you're really and then like in my self-defense classes, in my general self-defense classes, I also uh, we kind of do scenarios, not just the attack the attacker, but basically how to talk your way out of a situation as well. So on the promotion from Young, you have earned it. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of humbled about it. I mean, I knew that it was going to I mean, Mark and I had talked about it, Jim and I had talked about it, so I knew it was going to happen. But when it did happen, it just I'm still kind of humbled about it. So anyway, so that's kind of why I'm not like shouting it out like Jim suggested. So, but I am very appreciative, and I do believe I've earned it, but it's still kind of humbling. So anyway, um, let's see what else was there. Oh, there's Star Trek. Got to talk about Star Trek and Star Wars. So I am I let Star Trek first. So the new Lower Decks, Rob and I have kind of talked about this. This season of Lower Decks, which both of us were like super excited to um uh um uh let's see. We were super excited about the season, but Yeah, it's been kind of lackluster. Uh, oh, yeah, we forgot Saki, but Margaritas replaced it. Yes, Margaritas did replace it. I think I had 2 or maybe 3. I can't remember. But yeah. So, but it is what it is. We can have Saki later. um let's see. The what is it? Yeah, it's just been really lackluster. However, in this last episode, it was on Lower Decks. They focused on because each kind of episode has been focused on a different character, but they have this Vulcan character, and of course she does a Vulcan nerve pinch, so that needs to be added to because I'm working on version 2 of or the second edition of the Vulcan nerve pinch book. So and actually one of the techniques, there was a technique that Asa did from a kick, and how he kind of pushed the kick out of the way and it turned the person to the back. Because in the second edition, I'm essentially I'm going to have applications on how to get that person into a position to do a Vulcan nerve pinch. So we're going to take there's a couple that have actually come out of the TV shows. So I'm going to add that in there. And then there was one, Asa was doing kicks and using his leg as a kick was coming in. It's actually really easy to do, but that person totally got turned around and you just be like, boop. So anyway, so there'll be a number of applications in there, but also an addendum list of every single time a Vulcan neck pinch has been done in a Star Trek movie or episode with a timestamp and everything, so people can go watch it. And then so of course got to add that in there so it's fully updated. And then what was it? There was something else about that. My brain is starting to melt. No, and yeah, so let's see. Well, Rob says it's been good, hasn't been great like other seasons. I'm not hating it, but it just hasn't lived up to the seasons prior. And that's kind of how I feel too. Exactly. That's just how it is. Bring back T'Pol. Actually, T'Pol, she actually could show up, like technically age-wise. Well, about that age, maybe she's a little bit too young, but she could show up in Strange New Worlds as because around the original series she would still be alive. So, but maybe not Lower Decks. Yeah, totally. She, as Rob says, she could be in Strange New Worlds. And who knows, season 3 might come up and we might see it T'Pol. But the actress, she's like, she really distanced herself from Star Trek and hasn't really done a lot, I think. I haven't checked her IMDb lately, but I don't really think she's done a lot. So I don't know what the chances of that would be. The now Ahsoka, so far Ahsoka has been awesome. I think, and I also had been watching Rebels, and I finally finished Rebels last week because I keep on falling asleep during it. But that last season of Rebels where we really get to see Ezra grow in the Force and become, all of his challenges. And then we see Ezra we actually get to have see more of Ezra in the last episode. Because we all knew that he was going to be Ezra, or that we were all going to see Ezra and meet him. I really think that. All right, Jim. I will see you later, sir. You have a good day as well. I think that the actor who was another fan pick as well. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's the guy who played Aladdin in the live action Aladdin. They were like, oh my gosh, he would make a perfect Ezra. And the way he plays Ezra is that's how I kind of see how Ezra would be. I just think that that's just really cool. And there's some people going, oh well, that's not really Ezra, and I don't know. But we have one more episode to go. I don't know how it's going to end. Don't know who's going to die. And everyone's talking about a Thrawn movie. So is Thrawn going to survive? Is he going what's because that's with Dave Filoni's movie where it's like the Mandoverse, where you have Mandalorian and Ahsoka and Boba Fett, and that it's going to be the Avengers versus Thanos, which is really now it's going to be the Jedi, Mandalorian, and all that versus Thrawn. That's kind of where I've seen the internet going here, and I don't know. So we'll we'll see where that kind of goes on that. So anyway, but episode 6 or episode 8 will be on Tuesday. I usually don't watch it until later on. And then and actually this last one I didn't watch it until Wednesday because I was just so exhausted, so I didn't really watch episode 7. But on Sunday the 8th at my school, I know that most of you people are on the East Coast or Midwest, so you can't really show up, but I'm actually going to be doing an Ahsoka Day, October 8th at my school. So I'm going to put on the projector, put on big screen. I actually have a screen. So, so I'm going to see how I can set that up so it's nice and taut, and because I've been watching I watch it against this white wall, but it's textured, so it's it doesn't fit in. But if I could actually project it against a silver screen and even get a brighter picture out of it, that would be fantastic. So so anyway, I'm gonna play around with that, see if I can get that working. But anyway, yeah. So I'll probably start at 10 in the morning, and I was thinking on the hour every hour, but I was looking at some of the times. The first episode could start at 10, the next episode would start at 11. I think that, and then the next episode would start at 12, but that's only a 38-minute episode. So technically the next episode could be 12:45. I think the next episode after that is 45 minutes long. But if we're talking long credits, we could just go boom and then start it. It's oh, it's been 45 minutes, and then go straight and go into the next movie or next one. And then the next one, then that'll give a little bit of time for another little break. And so just kind of the ways that I'm playing it out there. Let's see. Rob says, I see that at this moment, a Thrawn movie, Mando season 4 tie-in leading to Ahsoka season 2. Yeah. I don't know. I hope I kind of want somebody to die. like, I don't want Thrawn to die, but I kind of want Thrawn to die. I mean, Thrawn kind of has to die, or um but I one of my things is that the way the books are under Disney is that they're canon and the new books. And so all of Thrawn's, the whole purpose of Thrawn coming to and basically becoming part of the Empire was to find power, or find an ally, I guess you could say, find an ally to help his people against their ultimate enemy. And that his people are like, well, no, we don't really want to do that, because his thought is, well, we're going to preemptively prepare ourselves. And we're like, well, we battle people, but we don't want to preemptively do that. And so that's why he went in search of. He had heard about this other empire. So, so his rise in the ranks with Emperor Palpatine and his relationship has all been to create this. Who's texting me? Has all been to, what was I going to say? Has all been for his people. So his motivations, and maybe I'm curious of his motivations in this show. Like, is it to start a war? Is it to take down the New Republic? Like, I don't know. Like, you would think that that's it, but it's like I don't know. If you read the Thrawn novels, there's a different motivation there. But I don't know how that motivation, and because he told the Emperor, he's like, yeah, I'm here and I'll work for you. Like, it's easy. I'll work for you. But in the back of his mind, there's still this other thing going. So let's see. I've got, okay. So I'll respond to that message here soon. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. Well, not really short, but I've got people messaging me, and I do have to get to class, or at least I have to get to the school so I can then teach, get ready, because I'm still in my taco pajamas. So anyway, I'm glad this thing works again, where I can actually see messages. I'm kind of excited about that. And so I will be back next Saturday. Because and then next Saturday the 7th, to talk more about how Ahsoka ended. And I don't know what I just did there. There we go. Talk more about how Ahsoka ended, and maybe more Star Trek, because there's going to be another episode. I think what it was, and only episode 4 of whatchamacallit. And then other things that are going on with the school and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. I know this has been like a 50 minutes of me just yapping, but well, that is what I do anyway. All right. Well, until next time, love to you all, and live long and prosper. I'll talk to you later.